Hey you guys, sorry. At the beginning of the video, I forgot to put in this. If you go into the description, you will find my Discord. If you want to join it, then join it. Anyways, go on the video.
Hey you guys, it is Zero Senpai here, and today we are doing another what if. This what if happens to be what if Deku was in a zombie apocalypse part 2. Now before we get started, I don't know if I actually went over this yesterday, so I'm gonna go over it. See this little guy right here? This is actually what Izuku's gonna end up looking like, something like this, except you see the little scar that's on his nose? Think about that, but it's on his eye instead, except it's going straight up and down. And the band-aid's just there for show, you know. And he will actually be using a sword, not a club or bat or whatever we want to call it. But yeah, let's go. So, last time where we left off, we heard scratching at the door. You're going scratch, 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 woof, woof. And that's what we heard at the door. Now, with what's going to happen, let's get into it. Let me yawn really quick. Okay. So, we're going to start off where Deku wakes up. As Deku wakes up, he looks down and sees Eri, and he realizes, oh crap, I fell, not Eri, sorry. The little girl, I don't know if I gave her a name, but I'll just call her little girl, because she actually isn't really that important to the story. Or she is for his plot development, but nothing more. Plus, no, she won't be in the story long. You guys will see why, but sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. As he looks down and sees the little girl, he's like, oh crap, I fell asleep with the little girl. Ugh. As he gets up and gets ready and starts packing stuff, because today they are actually leaving to go try to find Izuku's mother, or stepmother in this case. As Izuku starts getting ready, he starts hearing footsteps, so he turns around and he sees the girl. I forgot her name again. I'm just gonna call her M. Okay, he sees M standing behind him, and he's like, oh, hey, Hi, Izuku. It's nice to see you again today. So, we're heading out today. Make sure you get that little girl ready, and we'll be heading off to try to find your mother, that base she told us about. Yeah, I'm almost ready myself. Just gotta pack a few more things, and I'll be over her, ready. Then I'll help the little girl. Only during these what ifs is running on. Okay, Izuku. Well, I'm gonna go pack my stuff as she walks away. As we will get to the scratching in a few here. As Izuku, he's done packing his stuff, and he wakes up the little girl and says, hey, I gotta give her a name, okay? So I'm calling that girl M, so I'll call this little girl N. Not N, that sounds horrible. J is a guy's name more often. I'm not sure where I heard this before, but I'm thinking of the name Noelle. Noelle, where have I heard that before? I don't know, I've heard that somewhere before, but I'll just call her Noelle. So as Izuku shakes her and says, hey, Noelle, it's time for you to get up. We gotta get ready so we can head off and try to find one of those base camps that we heard about. As Noelle starts slowly opening her eye, and she's like, okay, mister. Or she'll call him Mr. Izuku. Okay, Mr. Izuku. As she gets up and walks into the kitchen, because Izuku did tell her to go downstairs and get something to eat as well. As M had already made something, so they sit down and eat. After that, they all get up, and we're gonna say that, okay, they pack Noelle's stuff, and they're ready to go. Now, as they open the door, okay. As they open the door, they reach for the doorknob and they twist it. As it starts twisting and twisting and twisting, something on the outside is staring the door down. Something big, scary, and with very sharp teeth. And it's also zombified, but it's no human. It's a creature. Think of a house pet, or a zombie house pet, as you could say. As the doors opened, as a zombie dog jumps up and leaps onto M. As it's about to bite her, Izuku punches the... What was Izuku's quirk? He doesn't have a quirk, yeah. Izuku takes his sword and slices off the dog's head. But as he turns around, he sees that M was bitten by the dog. And he's like, no, M. As M's a little bit scared now, but she looks at Izuku. She calms her nerves. And then she looks at Izuku and says, Izuku, it'll be okay. You guys should go without me. You know how to drive a car. So, go. As Izuku's like, no, I can't leave you here. Plus, we don't know if a dog can transfer the virus. We only know humans can. So, we'll just have to keep you under surveillance. Under surveillance, please. Let me do this. I don't want to leave you. If there's a chance that you might survive. As M's like, Izuku, listen. You have to let go of me. I'm bitten. As she's like, I know, but please, I don't. As not Izuku, M says, listen, get out of here. And if I survive, I'll call you on this walkie-talkie. As she hands him a walkie-talkie, and he's like, okay, I'll go then. But listen, I want to hear from you within 3 days. If I don't hear from you within 3 days, I'm going to assume that you're, well, you know. As he's trying to hold back his tears to not scare Noelle. As Noelle has a sad face and hugs M and says, I don't want to leave you. I want to stay with you. Please come with us. As M crouches down and hugs the little girl and says, go on. By the way, they did close the door, but they did not realize there were more zombie dogs, by the way. So yeah, as M says, I'll walk you guys out to the car to make sure that, well, you know, no more of those guys are out there. And by the way, I want you guys to picture the dog as, if you've ever seen I Am a Legend, the movie, it's not an anime, but if you've ever seen that, basically they're hairless dogs, and they're pretty much zombies. Like, that's pretty much what they are. But yeah, think about that as what the dogs look like. And their pupils have actually turned either red or black, your choice. But as M opens the door and she walks out with Izuku and Eri, they walk out and they're about to reach the car, as all of a sudden the bushes wiggle. And Izuku turns around, pulls out his sword, and gets ready to attack. As 3 dogs come out. Then they're drooling. One has red eyes, another has black. And I'm gonna say that there's one unique one in this pack, which is the leader of this little pack here. And we're gonna go like, you know how wolves have their own thing, you know, to tell who's the leader or not? By this, it's going to be by their eye color. We're gonna say that black's the lowest color, red's the second highest, and what would be the best color for this? It has to be like a dark, not dark, but like an ominous color. I'll say purple, okay? Purple makes them the ringleader of that pack. As Izuku sees the different eye colors and he's like, what? As he sees one of the dogs, like, and the dogs, they have not lost their sense of reason exactly. Like, they have, but they haven't, because they'll kill anyone on sight, but they haven't lost their ability to, like, come up with a strategy to attack like wolves. As the ringleader with the purple eyes signals together too, and they surround the three as everyone's back to back, and they make sure Noel's right between M and Izuku as they're getting ready to fight. As M sighs and she's like, there's no other choice. As she tells everyone to start slowly backing up to the car. As they're slowly backing up, the dogs are inching their way towards them, step by step, ready to pounce, waiting for the alpha's signal. As M reaches her hand back behind Izuku and reaches the doorknob and pulls it. As she flings open the door, pushes Izuku in the driver's seat, with Eri as well in the driver's seat, as she locks the door and then slams it shut and yells, "Get out of here! I'll stall him as long as I can!" As the three dogs pounce, as she's getting biting all over, but she's fighting back. And I'm gonna say that she has a quirk, and I'll say that she has a quirk to make her fingers into knives, or body parts into knives. As she makes a body part into a knife and starts slashing. As Izuku is thinking, I don't know if I can do this. As he's like, as he looks down and sees Noel crying in Izuku's chest, and he's like, why? As he grabs Noel and pushes her over to the passenger seat and puts the key in the car and starts it, and he's like, M, thank you so much. As he hits the gas pedal and they drive away, and Izuku glances back and sees M on the ground being torn apart. And M is no longer alive. I'm gonna pause this now, real quick. As when Izuku glances back, he sees that devastation. As he lets out a few tears, and then he pulls them back in and wipes them away. As he keeps driving, as I keep calling her Eri, sorry about that. As Noel is laying in the seat crying, saying, no. As at this point, she really liked M because she saved Mr. Izuku, as she refers him to, and herself. As she cries herself to sleep as Izuku keeps driving, and he's thinking, what a day. Zombie apocalypse starts yesterday. I lose my family. I gotta find them. I almost die on multiple occasions. A psychopath that wants to try to eat people, even though it's a zombie apocalypse, tries to eat me, and then M dies. Why did this have to happen to me? But he's thinking that in his head. He isn't saying it because he doesn't want Noel to hear and wake up and, start to cry or something. As you might hear a little static there for a second, actually, because I'm fixing my glasses. As they're driving, and a few hours later, the gas tank starts ringing. Ring, ring, or I don't know how you do it. It's like click, 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 or something like that. I'm not sure how it goes, but just that noise when the fuel is like really low. As Zuko's like, darn it! As he keeps driving, and then as he's driving, he sees a not gas station, but like a work garage. as he goes over and pulls up, at this point, he is actually in his town. The one in whatchamacallit, the Canon series. So he's actually pretty close to UA right now. And that's actually where he's heading right now, because he heard there might be some people there that could help him. As he stops and shuts the door and locks it to make sure no one could get to Noel. That's when he drives inside and does that, like I just said. And as he gets out and looks around the place, he's looking for gas. As he's looking for gas, he finds it, and he's like, found it. And he picks it up. As he's about to go over to the car and fill it up, he opens the gas cap and is about to pour it in. As he hears the door open, he turns around and sees 5 people with guns, and they all pointed at him. And I'm gonna say that no, they don't have guns. Okay, I'm gonna say that's the League of Villains. Okay, but it's gonna be Dobby. Forgot the names. Some of the names. So I got Dobby. Forgot her name. Toga. There it is. Toga. Dobby, Toga, Twice, and Compress. Those are I'm gonna say there's 4 people then instead of 5. But as those 5 walk in, Izuku, he's like, okay, who are these people? As he stops, about to pour the gas, he stops it and he puts the gas can down and says, hi. As they're all, those 4 that walked in say, oh, hey kid, we got a quick, demand for you. As Dobby lights up his fire in his hand. And Deku's like, crap. What's your demand, as you say? Is there anyone else in that car, first of all? As he's like, yes, there is, because he can't deny it, because if they were to go in and look, they could kill him or Noel. As he says, get them out of here. And how many? Only one. How old? How old? I'm gonna say this is actually Shigaraki talking. How old? How? Try to do like a cracky voice. How old? No. What was that? Oh, whatever. Hello. How old? That sounds like some kind of old dude. Give me a second, you guys. I'm gonna figure out this voice. Hey, you guys. I'm back. And this is kind of the closest voice I could get to Shigaraki Tomura. So let's continue. As Shigaraki tells Deku, I'm gonna keep doing this for a second here, because if I stop it, I'm not gonna be able to do it again for a bit. Until the scene's over. At least, till Shigaraki's done talking. As Shigaraki looks at Deku and he's like, pull her out of here. Or pull him or her out of here. We want both of you standing up right in front of us with your hands up, where we can see them to make sure you're not doing anything suspicious. As Deku goes over and opens the door and says, Noel, wake up. Noel. As she wakes up and says, Mr. Izuku, what? You need to come out here and don't say a word, just follow the orders of the people to their exact word unless I say not to. Got it? As Noelle is a little bit frightened. She's like, okay, Mr. Deku. Or Mr. Izuku. As she gets out and they both walk up and Shigaraki's like, put both your hands up in the air. Put both your hands up in the air. That's gonna kill my voice. Oh. But whatevs, I'll keep doing it for you guys. But whatevs, let's continue. As Deku and Eri put up their hands, because Deku did not say stop and don't put up your hands, so Eri puts them up Noelle puts them up without a comment. As Shigaraki tells Dabi, "Hey guys, sorry, my thing turned off and stopped recording. Luckily it saved it, but sorry, let's continue." As Shigaraki looks at Dabi and says, Dabi. Crap, I lost it. Dabi. Make sure you take good care of these kids. If you know what I mean. But don't do it in here. We're gonna be using this place for a bit. As he actually whispered that into Dabi's ear to make sure the kids didn't hear it. As Tomura turns to them and says, "Listen, you two will go outside, and Dabi will escort you. He'll escort you to a certain location or far enough away, and you guys will be free to go. Just follow these commands, and you'll be safe. Got it?" As Deku, he's like, "Yes, okay, we'll do that." As they have no way to fight back right now. As Deku says, before he leaves, he says, Can I get some stuff from the car first, please?" "Well, show me what you want to get first, and I'll say if you can take it or not." As he gets in the car and pulls out what he wants to take, he pulls out a bag full of food and says, "There's a second one in there you can take if you guys want it. I knew you guys probably would want some of the food, so they left one of the bags inside. I hope that's okay with you." And he's like, "Also, I would like to take my sword, if that's okay." As in this, Deku is can't say it. Can't say that word. I trying to think of another word because I only usually. He's a kitty cat, if you know what I mean. If you get what I mean, then yeah, kitty cat. As you know how cats are afraid and everything, he's one of those people. For now, he looked like a bad ASS in like in this picture later though. As Tomura's like, let's see here. Empty half the bag out so you can have the rest of the food in that bag. The sword, it stays with me." As Deku's like, "But we'll have no protection." "Use your quirk, you dumb ASS. I'm quirkless." "Oh. Quirkless little nobody, okay. Doesn't matter. No sword." As he does not want a way for him to fight back against Dabi. As he's like, okay. As Dabi walks behind them and says, "Start walking." Almost a Tomura voice. Start walking, or I burn your faces off." As they start walking, and he keeps giving them directions, and as they're about half a mile away, not half a mile away, let's say it's like they get to one of the alleys, okay? Excuse me, I burped. Oh, give me a second. Holy crap, my stomach. Oh, excuse me. As they walk into an alley, and Dabi says, "This is far enough." As Izuku says, "Okay, we'll be on our way now." "Wait a second, kid." "Yeah?" "Well, have you ever heard something called a lie?" "What?" "Time to die." As, check that, that's nothing important. As he's like, "No, you guys promised." as he puts up his fists, ready to fight, trying to protect Noelle. As Deku's about to get burned really badly, all around the face. He's gonna die if it hits him. Noelle pushes him out of the way, because for a little girl, she's actually quite strong, because I'll say she has a strength enhancement quirk, okay? As she pushes Deku out of the way, and Gabi's like, doesn't matter, I was gonna kill you anyways, as he grabs Noelle's face. And by the way, sorry for doing this. I know some of you guys might have gotten a little bit attached to Noelle, but it's for plot development, okay? Plot. As Gabi grabs Noelle's face and it's like, bye-bye, little girl, and lights his hand on fire and blasts it, burning her head off, falling as she falls to the ground, limp and lifeless. As Izuku sees this, he starts bawling. He's like, Noelle, no. As he's trying to say some other stuff, thinking, it's my fault, it's my fault, my fault, my fault. As he's having a panic attack and going a little bit crazy in the mind right now, as Dabi's like, well, I guess it was a little bit worth it to see the look on your face to kill her first anyways. So, you're next. But right before he could do anything, an explosion comes out of nowhere, and Dabi manages to avoid it. As the explosion goes boom, boom. By the way, I'm going to have to swear a little bit for this part, for these parts when I add this character in, because as you know, you literally can't do Bakugo without swearing. So I won't do two bad ones, but I'll say the word damn. He does say bastard a lot, but I will not use that because I don't really like that word. So I might just have him say damn and hell a lot, because, so those two words are what I'll be using for Bakugo. But anyways, let's continue. Oh, this is going to really kill my voice. First I had to do Tomura Shigaraki, Toya Todoroki, which is also Dabi, I think. And now I gotta do Bakugo. My throat's already hurting enough, but let's do this. I think from now on I might have a water with me when I do this, but okay. Get away from him! You damn... what should I call him? Damn flame boy! And as explosions try to hit Dabi, and Dabi dodges, she's like, darn it! As he looks over and sees, we'll say that Bakugo, Jiro, Uraraka, and Momo are there. Because for different divisions, basically. Because they're actually from UA in this. UA didn't start yet in this before the zombie apocalypse hit, but they went to UA to get safety. And the reason why Bakugo's there, he's there for attack, Momo's there for support, Uraraka's there to carry the really heavy stuff because she can use her quirk, and Jiro's there to try to avoid as many zombies and crowds as possible. I came with that in an instant, so that's pretty good. But anyways, as Dabi's like, I can't take on all of them at once. As he's thinking that because he sees that one has a powerful quirk. And he's like, what if those other ones have powerful quirks too? So he runs off. As Izuku is stunned on the ground, looking up at the sky with lifeless, cloudy eyes, thinking, why? It's my fault. My fault. My fault. My fault. He isn't saying this out loud, but he's also crying. As, by the way, I've actually found out the ship, and no, the people that are here right now are not the ship. I'm just doing this, okay? As Uraraka's like, why is he crying? We saved him, right? Why? As Bakugo looks at Uraraka and says, didn't you see what happened? Right before we were able to reach him. I don't know who it was, but a little girl was just murdered by that man. By that bastard. I'll kill him for hurting the little girl. As the other three are stunned because they didn't see it. And Jiro wasn't using her quirk at the time, so she didn't hear it either. She only heard a scream, and that's all. As Bakugo looks at Deku, and he's like, we better get this guy back. As in this what if, Izuku and Deku do not know each other. Like, they do, but Bakugo does not know it's Deku. Because they only knew each other when they were younger, like 4 or 5 years old. And right now Izuku's 14, so yeah. As Bakugo picks up and says, let's get going. And then we came out here to get some stuff, which we did. We were supposed to get more, but Survivor should help our odds a little bit better. As they all but they all start walking, and Bakugo's like, damn, this guy's heavy. As Uraraka's like, I can float him if you want. No, don't. You need your quirk to make sure you can float everything that's heavy. If you don't, then we're gonna have big trouble. As she's like, yeah, okay. As they all walk off, and they get in a car they had nearby. It's an army car, or like a car that's been decked out with. It's like a regular car, but it's been decked out with all sorts of gadgets and armor to make sure it was stronger, courtesy of the creation user, especially Momo. And Cementos. We'll say that Cementos helped too a little bit with the armor. But yeah. As they get in the car and they drive off. As when they get in the car, Bakugo's driving and Jiro's sitting next to Deku, and he turns and he says, hey, are you okay? As Asuku doesn't respond, and she pokes him a little bit and says, Can you please answer me? It's hard to do a Jiro voice, by the way, because you know how she kind of yells in a girl voice, and I can't really do a yelling girl voice, especially right now with my throat. So I tried. I'm gonna yell, Denki, okay? Try to do a Jiro voice, or like a girl voice. Denki! I can't do it. Oh, that hurt. Let's continue. Oh. You know, there's water right there. Okay, I'm gonna pause this really quick and take a water break. Okay, guys, I'm ready again. Sorry about that. Throat was killing me, like you guys probably heard. But let's continue. Hey, dude, answer me. Come on. As she starts poking him with her ear jacks, and Momo looks at her and says, Jiro, stop that. Jiro, stop that. Why should I? I'm trying to get him to answer us so we can know his name at least. Jiro, listen. Think about it. He just lost that little girl, and for all you know, that could have been his little sister. So, you can't just, think about it. Like, what if you had a sister, or you lost your parents right in front of you, and you couldn't do anything to protect them? How would you feel? As Jiro thinks on this, she's just like, you're right, I'm sorry. As she shuts up, and they continue driving. As Bakugo looks back, and he's like, I recognize him, but there's no way. Never mind. He thinks that, he doesn't say it. But he doesn't think it's Izuku. He thinks it is, but he's like, nah, he brushes it away straight away. As Bakugo's like, okay guys, when we get back, we gotta unload all this stuff into the storage, or bring it to the storage people so they can unload it. Uraraka, you'll stay with them because some of this stuff is really heavy, and they'll need your help. As in this one, Bakugo's a good leader. He still yells a lot though, he has anger problems, but he's settled down because we'll say that someone actually put him in his place so he isn't as mean as Canon. He's still mean though. As Uraraka's like, yeah, I can do that. Momo, well, you should probably go check in with the creation department and make sure that they don't need any help creating anything. And Jiro, you should be the one to give the report on what you heard around the city. If you heard anything that might have been troubling. And I'll head to our leader and tell him what's been going on. Got that? As they all in unison say, yeah, Bakugo. As they keep driving and they reach the UA gates. As the gates open, and Bakugo drives in. And as he gets out of the car, some people walk up to him and say, Do you guys need any help unloading or anything? Well, I'm bringing all this stuff to the support department, or not support, storage. And they'll unload it there. So if you want to ask anyone's help, go ask the support department, not support. Oh my goodness, I keep pronouncing things wrong. But whatever, sir, whatever. Head over to the storage department, where we're heading. Momo, Uraraka's gonna bring it there because, well, you know her quirk. And she's like, yeah. As they get out, and Bakugo goes in the car and gets Deku before Uraraka leaves to go bring the car. As the lady that was there checking on them before she leaves, she's like, who's that? I don't recognize him. Oh, some guy we saved. He isn't talking right now because, well, I think he just watched his little sister die right in front of him. Or at least someone close, because the little girl saved him from being burned alive. As he walks off, and he heads to Nezu's office, and Nezu is alive in this one. As Bakugo knocks on the door and says, May I enter? Yes, you may enter. As he opens the door and sees Aizawa, Present Mike, All Might. No, let's not say All Might. Actually, we will say All Might. And Nezu in there. And he's like, well, I brought back a new survivor. But he's not in the greatest condition. As they go look at the boy and they say, what do you mean? He looks fine. I mean, doesn't look like he has a bite or is injured. Look into his eyes. Oh, look into his eyes. As they all look into his eyes and they see lifeless eyes and they're like, what the? As Nezu's like, what has happened to this boy? Why does he look like the world has just ended? Even though actually it kind of has, but why does he look like that? Because he probably wouldn't be alive right now if he was looking like that the whole time. Well, I think he just watched his sister or someone very close to him die right in front of him. They were burned to death by that villain, Dobby, that you guys mentioned. We saved him in time before he was killed himself, and Dobby ran off. And we brought him back here. We weren't able to get all the supplies that we needed, but I think a survivor should help us. You are correct. Well, please show him to his quarters, or not quarters, but his room. Bakugo, actually, do you have a roommate? No, what about it? Please take this boy under your wing for us. Give him some help with his problems, if you know what I mean. And make sure that he gets used to the life around here, so we can get him out and about, helping us with the preparations to protect the base. Excuse me. I hate doing this, you know that. Yes, I know. But, please do this. I will. You'll bunk with me then. As he walks out and brings Izuku to his room, lays him on the bed. The second bed that was there, because every room has two beds. And we'll say that these are actually the dorms. Well, there's a lot more dorms in this one. because they already had a dorm system in place, but they had a lot more dorms just in case, something happened. But anyways, they get in there. It's a pretty big dorm. Like, it's a in-school dorm, not one of the dorms outside, in the buildings. Because Bakugo is actually one of the we'll say he's one of the more important people there because of his quirk. They're going based off quirk-wise of how your rank is, and depending on how smart you are. And that's how your rank is dependent. But Bakugo lays him down on the bed and says, This green-haired boy is going to be a pain. He reminds me so much of that nerd. As he thinks of Izuku, as he looks down and says, "Sorry, Deku," and walks away, as the reason why he was saying sorry, Deku, was because he's sorry for bullying him before he found out his mother did all that, As Bakugo leaves and goes to back in Nezu's office and walks in, and by the way, sorry, this whole half here is like all about Bakugo and this place, but Izuku's knocked out, right? Not knocked out, but like that. But I'm about to go back to him in a second. As Bakugo walks in and he says, I'm gonna get my report. I'm gonna get my report now. As we go back to Deku, and Bakugo's just giving the report of what happened. As Deku, he isn't asleep, but he's laying there and he's thinking, Noelle, why? As he gets up and he's like, I can't stay here. I can't. What if someone else dies because of me? As he gets up and he sneaks out and he sneaks through the place. As in this, the electricity is actually down right now. They're working on getting it back up, but it's down right now, so there's no security alarms or anything. As he walks and tries to find a way out, and he sees a ladder that goes over the wall, so he starts climbing it, and goes over and comes outside and leaves UA. It was quick for being there, but he'll go back there, just not yet. I just felt like introducing Bakugo in them at that moment. As Deku walks off, and he starts running full sprint, but careful to look around the sides. As he goes into this one shop, and it's actually a paint shop. As he walks in and he locks the door behind him and closes the blinds and stuff. And he sits down on the ground and he's like, I'm just gonna sit here and starve. Just so I don't hurt anyone else. I can't have any more deaths on my hands. I can't handle it. As he falls asleep. And let's see here. I'm gonna pause this really quick. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end it soon, like in another 5-10 minutes, but not yet. As Izuku, he's sleeping on the ground, and he rolls over. No, let's go back to Bakugo real quick. As Bakugo walks into his room, and he's like, "Crap, where'd he go?" As he runs back to Nezu's office and opens the door without knocking. As Nezu's like, Why did you open the door without asking? You know you're not supposed to open the door without asking. We could have been doing something official. You know that, right? Sorry, but we have a problem. Sorry. The boy, the guy that I brought to my room, he's gone. As Almight's like, what? What? He's gone? Yeah, he's gone. I don't know where he is. As they send out some people to look for him around UA. And about a few hours later, they come back and say, he's not even in UA anymore. And they just let him know. And they're like, oh, I'm not in my thing anymore. Oops. As he's like, dang it, that boy. In his condition, he's most likely going to die. I'd rather not do this, but we have no choice. We'll have to leave him. We don't know where he is, and can't send out people to look for one person, and we don't even know if he'll be any help to us, even though I'd rather not say that, but I gotta face the cold hard truth right now and try to think of our best situation to stay alive. As Bakugo's like, I understand, sir. As they walk off, and we're going back to Izuku's perspective. As Izuku, he wakes up. As last night, he actually had a dream, not last night, but when he was sleeping, he had a dream. It was a horrible dream. He pictured Noelle dying right in front of him over and over and over, just by Dabi's hand. Blue flames engulfs her body, and when they burn out, a crisp, black, dead, lifeless body is laying on the ground. He has this over and over and over until he hears, I'm coming for you. As that was actually Dabi in his dream, and as he wakes up and stands up really quickly and hits a paint shelf that was sitting there, and it knocks off. As it knocks off, wait a second, purple paint, and you see the purple on the spec right there? It falls off the shelf and hits the back of his head and breaks open and goes all over the back of his head, making tons of noise from inside the store, as zombies, and just zombies actually, hear something, as they all start pounding on the windows. As Izuku hears this, and he's like, what? He's freaked out because of his dream, dazed because of the hit, and scared that he hears pounding on the door. As his next thought, because we'll just make a little thing here and say, the can, it knocks some sense into him. Get it? It was horrible. Really horrible. But let's go. Well, he's like, I can't. If I don't do something and survive, their lives will be in vain. Completely for nothing. I can't let that be for nothing. Noelle, I promise I'll survive. As he looks up, he's like, as he gets a smile on his face, he's like, I'll take you all on, in a crazy tone voice. As he looks around and he sees a bat on the ground, which this isn't going to be his main weapon, but no, I'll say it was a hatchet, okay? And it was a person, this thing the store owner actually had in there to make sure, in case anyone came in and tried to steal from him or something, to protect himself. As Izuku reaches for the hatchet and grabs it, and he sees clothing on a shelf, as it's actually this clothing in the picture you see. That's what he's wearing now. And the headphones, don't even mind that. That's on his neck right there. Don't even mind that. That's just something for show. But he's wearing fingerless gloves, green shoes, blackish bluish pants, with a black shirt. And we'll say that symbol is actually, it says UA on it, okay? And no, we'll say it says Salvation, okay? Say it says Salvation, with a green hoodie and purple and black fingerless gloves. And yeah, as Izuku, he gets up after grabbing all that and putting it on. He's like, I'll take you all on. As he sees a ladder that goes up to the roof and gets on top of it and climbs up to the roof. He looks over the side and sees probably about 30 zombies down there. As he's like, you're all dead. As he jumps off the building, and it's not a high one, by the way. It's only one story. He jumps over all the zombies, turns around, and starts cutting them and hitting them in the head with the hatchet. Cutting. He swings at one, and swings at another. One tries to bite him. He swings upward and uppercuts it with his fist. And then takes the hatchet, spins around, and cuts off another head. As one gets a hold of him and is about to bite his neck. As he's like, not today. As he grabs the face of the zombie right on his forehead and pushes it away, slamming him into other zombies as he takes his hatchet and slices another head off as he comes near. And another one's about to try to scratch him as he cuts the hand off, swings his arm around, and slams the hatchet right between the eye sockets, and pulls it out, and continues just slaughtering all the zombies in a crazy laughing voice as he keeps doing this and doing this and doing this, killing them. Slaughter, 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 as that's what he's yelling as he's going crazy in the mind. As there's only one left, as someone sees what's going on, as they run in, and a giant hand forms on their hand and whacks the zombie away, sending the zombie flying into a wall, and the zombie dies because it was hit right in the head, breaking its skull and killing the brain. As the girl that saved him, also known as Kendo. If you don't know Kendo's quirk, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I'm pretty sure she can just like make her body parts, like her arm, leg, hand, foot, ears, and all that, like bigger, I think. Or maybe it's called big hands, I'm not sure. It's one of the two. Maybe she can only do her hands, but I'm not sure. But anyways, as she hits the zombie away and turns around and says, "What were you thinking? You could have just died there!" As she chops on the head and says, "You're an idiot!" Give me a second. I think someone's coming. Nope, no one was coming. Some random person my sister had over, but anyways. Let's continue. But anyways, as she yells, he's like, well, well, if I would have died, it wouldn't have mattered anyways. And he starts laughing a little bit, saying, as he does have enough sanity left to not, go around killing actual people. He goes crazy when killing zombies, and most people would describe it as a slaughter fest. Not against Izuku, but Izuku himself slaughtering the zombies. As he will get a name for himself later in the series, but not yet. As Kendo's like, people like you're crazy. But she grabs his hand and pulls him and says, "Listen, come with me. I have somewhere you can stay for a little while. As long as you want, I have a little base camp with some friends." And he's like, "Sure, I guess, but don't expect me to get close to any of you guys. Got it?" Yeah, tough guy act, whatever. But just come with me. As she takes him to, I'm gonna say that she takes him to a rich house, one of the richer houses that they just took over when the zombie apocalypse started. Because this rich house had all kinds of good stuff in it to use for the zombie apocalypse. Like, when I say that, I mean they had antique stuff, not like antique, but older stuff that had like swords and all that. But yeah, as Izuku and Kendo walk into the house, as Kendo was actually out with another person, but the person was eaten. But just saying, I'm just gonna say, let's say she's some random side character that Kendo barely even knew, so she's not like devastated, but she's still a little bit shocked, but not as bad as Deku was, or not even close to as bad. But yeah, anyways, as they go in, and Monoma, sitting over in a chair, gets up and says, Hey, Kendo, who the heck is this? And, hey, Kendo, who the heck is this? And, where's Katsumi? I think I just took a name from My Hero Academia from Two Heroes, but I'm not Two Heroes. Heroes Rising, but I'm not sure. But I'm going to name the guy Katsumi. Just random. Just said it. Well, anyways, she's like, sorry, but he, decided to act like an idiot and ran out into a horde of zombies and tried to kill them all. I told you he was too dumb, as you could say. Surprised he even survived that long, but, as Mona was like, another one? But anyways, who the heck is this? Well, oh, he's a guy that I found, and he's probably even worse than Katsume, or whatever I said. I think it was Katsumi. He killed around 30 zombies by himself. I took out the last one, but yeah. I told him to come with us. Come with me and join our group, because he's quite strong. As Monoma walks up to Deku and says, "Huh, you must think you're something special, don't you? Huh, well, you're not. Don't forget it." As Deku's like, "Yeah, whatever." As he walks off, he just sits on the couch and says, "Listen, don't expect me to get close to any of you guys. Got it? I know that sounds kind of mean, but... well, I'm not a people person anymore. Of course, I will protect you, if it comes to it. As long as you're not an a-hole. But anyways, yeah. I'll join your little group for now." As some of them give him weird looks, thinking, we gotta watch out for this guy, he might betray us. As Kendo's like, guy's a little bit weird, but I don't know why. But he's kind of interesting. And yes, Kendo is the ship, just letting you guys know. I just put Nejire in the last video to cover up a picture of me because I want to do a face reveal at some point. Probably at like 1K subs if I ever get there, but not yet. Anyways, let's continue. As we're gonna end it off right there where Nejire says he's kind of attractive. But yeah, we're gonna end it off, and I hope that you guys liked it. If you did, like, subscribe, and comment. And by the way, this is just a makeshift thumbnail for now, not my original one or original design. But anyways, hope you guys liked it. If you did, well, I just already said that, but you know what to do. And I should be posting a gaming video tonight, most likely, but I gotta figure that out with Godspeed, the person I'm doing the video with. Anyways, have a great day, stay safe, make sure you don't get anywhere near that stupid coronavirus, especially for the older people, and the older and younger people that have disabilities, not like, missing limbs or anything, but I mean like, because that shouldn't affect it too much, but like heart problems, lung problems, and stuff like that, or weak immune systems. Just be careful. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Have a nice, great, and happy day. Bye.